This is my follow-up to the Mass Effect versus the Internet video I put up a couple weeks ago. I've completed the game about 61 hours, and I think I made it about 75% complete to maybe 65 to 75% complete. I really enjoyed it. It is probably my second least favorite Mass Effect game after 1. It would probably go 2, 3, this 1. The openness got away from it a little bit. I'm not a huge Skyrim fan, and some of the stuff was really unfocused. They did a lot with the pathfinding and putting waypoints and telling you exactly where you need to go on these side quests, but it got away from it. You could tell they were limited on budget for a lot of those side quests, and it just didn't add much value. Also, the characters I certainly didn't attach as much as any other game. At the end, I really enjoyed the Pathfinder and a couple of the other characters, but not near Mass Effect 2. Probably closer to Mass Effect 3, the ones they brought in just for that. Like, very similar to that stuff. But it came together well, and the brief touch points with the original trilogy were well done. And the planets were good. I enjoyed exploring. I think they nailed that, but just some of the side quest stuff, anytime you have to find more than like 3 things, I quickly gave up on those missions and just moved on. And I thought it was supplemented well with the mobile app for like resources and that sort of stuff, so I never got into resource constraints. The crafting was very disorganized, but I figured it out, and just like I didn't experiment as much with that or really skills because it was just kind of a pain. By offering everything, they gave really preference to nothing, and that affected it negatively. But the combat was awesome. The jump jets really made getting around fun. I could have used a little bit more horsepower in the Nomad, or whatever it's called in this one, just to get up hills and stuff. Clear indications of what you could get up and what you couldn't would be great. But it was good. The story was good. I would have liked more alien races. Someone on the internet said, like, it's a shame that all the new things were, like, bipedal character, like, races that you could translate into English, like, easily. And you could translate them almost immediately. And even the big bad there, like, he went down a traditional villain arc. And these are things that have never seen humans. And is 600 years in the future. So, like, having something that would be completely, like, square box into a round hole would have been really interesting. Or at least a race that, like, you never did figure out. Like, if they were on your side or not on your side, or what. But there was a good and there was a bad, and it kind of a bummer. Also, the Citadel replacement of the Nexus was, I mean, it's a different type of ship, but it never had the character of the Nexus or the Citadel, and maybe that's because it's new and not like something that's been existed before humans did. And the scanning was not near as interesting as other areas. I felt like I could never get surprised. And I'm saying a lot of negative things, but I really enjoyed the game. I wouldn't have put 60 hours into it. I would have sold it quick and got more money for it if it wasn't hooking me. But it was really good. The voice acting, I came around on it, the character faces and stuff like that. They did some improvements. And after a while, you just get used to it, and it was good. Like, they have so much content there. And I've moved on to Persona 5, and you see, like, how many corners they cut, and it's almost, they get credit for cutting those corners. And Mass Effect, like, put the work in. And it's good. Glitches happened every once in a while, but it was really good. And as I mentioned, combat was good. Some of the choices you had were difficult, but you could tell it's like a binary flip-flop, and instead of this perk, you get that perk. Like, there weren't as many, like, right or wrong choices or shades of gray. It was like A or B, and there's not much difference between them. The loyalty missions were much better than any of the other missions in the game. You only have 6 crewmates, but it would have been nice to have more of that. The romance options were fine. I ended up stuck with the Turian, and I didn't know how to break it off with her, so I didn't get to explore that much. I would have tried I don't know why that stopped, but so that's Mass Effect Andromeda. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. If you're a fan of the series, just play it. If you enjoyed Mass Effect 1 or 2, there's nothing else like it. It did try really hard to be The Witcher, it's Skyrim, and it's not those games. And I hope they do tighten the reins a little bit and make more valuable content than just this grand swath and all these elements that I'm sure you could play it for 150 hours to get 100%. But I finished the value-added stuff, and I was like, I'm good to go. Obvious hooks for sequels and DLC, which I hadn't played the DLC on any game, and it's almost like a principle now. Like, I don't want to go down that road. The game is the game, and maybe I'll catch it on a special edition or something like that. But I enjoyed what was there. 8.5 to 9 out of 10. The internet, EA's an easy target, and the internet took it a little bit too far. But the reset was a really bold move, and getting themselves out of that corner they wrote in Mass Effect 3. Played the multiplayer a little bit. My friends didn't really get on it this time, so I moved on from that pretty quick. So go try it. It's down to $40. I'm sure you can get it cheaper. My eBay auction for it is $30, so you can find that if you want to buy it. Thank you to the 5 people who watched this, and I'm playing Persona 5. Maybe I'll do one of these for that.